job on the last mission. The White Dingoes should be proud. Sorry, it's a little soon, but here's your next one. The White Dingoes will now commence entering the occupied city of Alice Springs as reconnaissance for the main Red Possum force. You will then initiate attack on the enemy troops. When you do, your top priority will be to destroy the pillbox clusters in the hills to the north and south of the city, which are the biggest obstacles that the main force will face when entering there. Since this city is located in the central region of the continent, it was fortunately protected from the worst of the colony drop disaster, meaning there are many civilians still there. Take the utmost care and precaution while in the area so as not to endanger them. This especially applies to the water tanks, which are the lifelines for the city and the surrounding area. If they're destroyed, even if we manage to take the city from the Zeon, it'll make supporting it afterwards very difficult. Exercise extreme caution on this one. I wish you all the best of luck in this battle.
Captain, I have some intel for you. According to the information I got from the Wombat Resistance Group that we encountered on our last mission, Zeon transport trains will move through Alice Springs within the next few days. They don't have any details as of yet, but there's a distinct possibility that they're transporting something very important.
There is a chance that we may run into one of these trains during the battle. I wonder what they've got inside them.
Rumor has it that as the Zeon forces began to show signs of defeat, they started loading up their resources and are secretly transporting them somewhere out into space. These shipments may be part of that plan if my sources are not mistaken. They may even be carrying some sort of vital resource for all we know. Lieutenant, I think we should consider stopping those trains that we happen to run across if we're going to see this through. Don't you think so?
Well, we can cross that bridge when we get to it. After all, the trains may not even show up during our mission.
You really are irresponsible, aren't you? However, there's still the possibility that those trains won't even show up. So why don't we stick to headquarters' original plan and concentrate our efforts on destroying those pillboxes and breaking through?
Lieutenant Rayer, I'm convinced that the last battle we were engaged in was just a delaying tactic on our enemy's part. When you stop and think about it, this mission they gave us is pretty darn reckless. Sending in a force as small as ours before the main attack force arrives is far too dangerous. Then again, if it turns out that the enemy's strength becomes divided because they're trying to buy themselves time for some reason, then what we're doing may be coming as a surprise to them and work after all. I think that finding out why the enemy's trying to delay us will have a greater benefit to our future missions. That's the reason why I think the commander ordered us to go on such a risky mission in the first place. He's counting on our abilities. Anyway, we should be extremely cautious when carrying out this operation.
Hey, Lieutenant Rayer, were you listening to the radio just now? Jacqueline, that sweet battlefield flower, was coming in loud and clear. I recorded her last transmission. Take a listen.
Hi there, all you brave Federation soldiers listening out there. Are you all okay? Your Jackie's doing great, thanks in large part to all of your brave efforts. Now then, as you all probably know by now, the Federation has finally begun its long-awaited battle for justice and liberty here in Australia as well. And I even heard from very reliable sources that they scored early victories in many places soon after the opening salvos against the Zeon forces. Still, if you were going to do this, I wish you'd start a little sooner. Is it wrong to be selfish like that? Sorry, guys. Anyway, keep up the good work. Jackie's rooting for you here. And now, our next song is...
Woo! She's really got great stuff, don't you think? I love Jacqueline's show. I'll tape the next one for you, too, if you want. Oh, yeah, by the way, Lieutenant, if you could, don't mention any of this to Anita. She sort of considers Jacqueline her personal enemy, if you can believe that. Man, I wish she'd just lighten up.
Hey there, Lieutenant Rayer. Well, what do you know? We're finally on our way. I guess the brass just doesn't understand how long it takes to do maintenance on these things while we're on the front lines. Well, as long as you leave it to me. I'd be sure to have it ready to go no matter how little time they give us. That's one thing you don't have to worry about.